this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have a very special treat for you. We have the all-new Power Grind Pro, and we're going to make a video for you guys to share with you this all-new juicer. Now, there has been some hype up on the internet about the Power Grind Pro. A lot of the videos on the Power Grind are actually from Jay Kordich, which I would call the father of juicing, and in my opinion, he's my father of juicing. And let me tell you a really quick story. So I was kind of like down and out, living in Alabama at the time, many years ago, and I didn't have a lot to do, and I knew I needed to build my immune system. So I found myself watching a lot of TV, and I saw an infomercial on TV, and the infomercial was Jay promoting this very juicer, the Juice Man 2 juicer. This is the juicer that he is known for. He was formerly known as the Juice Man, but now he's known as the Juice Daddy. He's educated, I don't even know, millions of people across the world about the benefits of juicing, and he is the one that is primarily responsible for getting me involved. After I saw that infomercial, I got on the phone and ordered that juicer. I can't say this is the very one, because that one I think I ended up selling at a later date, but that was my basically second juicer that I ever owned. The first one was when I was a kid, actually. My parents, I think, had an oyster juicer that we would actually juice when I was a kid. So that's when I first got into juicing, and then later I got the Juice Man and then really went full tilt with juicing. So I really love the Juice Man 2, and this is a funny story. So I was actually at a flea market. One of the other things I enjoy doing in life sometimes is go to flea markets and see if there's any good deals, and most of the time I don't actually buy anything. But in this rare instance, I found a Juice Man 2 juicer in the box, and I opened up the box, and lo and behold, it was brand new. I mean, this thing must have been in storage for 16 years or something crazy. This has been in storage all these years, and it's brand new, never used. And I pity the fool that buys a juicer, and then it sits around, because guess what? The juicer can literally change your life like it changed mine. I am healthier than ever, fitter than ever, have more energy than ever, and life could not be better. When you buy and use a juicer, don't just buy it and put it in storage like these people. But then maybe I'll find it at a flea market one day. Anyways, I got an amazing deal on it. And the reason for this video is to talk more about Jay, which I want to thank for getting me into juicing. He still does amazing work, and actually his book is one of my favorite juicing books. I get requested, hey John, what's your favorite juicing book? What do you recommend? I still recommend Jay's juicing book. It's The Juice Man's Power of Juicing. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it sold over 1 million copies, and that still to date is my favorite juicing book until hopefully one day I'll put out my own. Anyway, since the Juice Man juicer, what happened to Jay is that basically Jay got so famous and he signed over his name and the rights to the Juice Man to the Sultan Corporation, which is, a big company. And basically for them, it's all about money. They saw Jay and they seen dollar signs. And what happened was he sold his name, the Juice Man, to them. They made the Juice Man 2 juicer for many years, and then finally kind of like pushed him out of the picture. And now they still actually sell the Juice Man juicer, which is available in Walmart, but they don't really connect it with Jay so much anymore. Now, I highly discourage you from buying any juicer in a department store. And that's for one primary reason. You get what you pay for, people. Come on, if you haven't learned that by now, hopefully you should. The juicers that are in the department stores, they have short warranties, maybe 90 days, maybe 60 days, and they don't cost too much money, but guess what? If that juicer breaks down on the 91st day after the warranty, you got to go out and buy another one. I would rather sell you a juicer for maybe double or not much more than the price of the ones, sometimes the same price as the ones selling at your local department store, for the same price or a little bit more, that has a 10-year warranty. So you are guaranteed that machine is going to be working for you for the next 10 years and make a difference in your life. In any case, what we're going to do today is we're going to compare Jay's original Juice Man 2 juicer, which is still one of my favorite juicers, but unfortunately, these are no longer made. They've been out of production for a long time. So unless you find like a new one like this, which is really rare, you can find them used, but be aware if you do get a used one, parts are no longer available for them. So what I would encourage you to do is instead go out and purchase a juicer just like the Juice Man 2 juicer, and in my opinion, the L'Equip Model 110.5 is basically a copycat of the Juiceman 2, and they've made some minor improvements, and actually that's the one that has a 10-year warranty. But nonetheless, we're going to compare the original Juiceman 2, which is where Jay got his start, to Jay's all-new Power Grind Pro juicer. Jay is now known as a Juice Daddy and is selling this juicer on his website. So first, let's go ahead and unbox the Juiceman. We're going to go ahead and take each part on these juicers apart one at a time to show you guys how they look. Here is the original Juiceman. Here's the collection cup. So this is the Juiceman 2 juicer. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to run down the parts and compare and contrast these two machines. Now these two machines are very similar. These are both called centrifugal ejection style juicers. But one juicer is a pure centrifugal ejection style juicer and the other one is a hybrid centrifugal ejection style juicer. Why do I say hybrid? I say hybrid because this is a grinding centrifugal ejection juicer, which is a new design. Now you might think, oh, Jay's so smart, he came up with the design. Well, Jay actually found this design. There's a company over in China that created this machine, and Jay saw this as a great juicer and started importing it and putting his name on it. So if he's putting his name on it, hopefully it's really good. In any case, we're going to go ahead and I guess take these juicers apart one piece at a time and compare them both. On both machines, they have a pusher. The pusher on the Power Grind is a 3-inch diameter, and on the Juiceman it's a little bit smaller. Now the big feed chute has some advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. The advantages of the big feed chute is that you could really jam a few carrots in at a time and it goes really fast, and you don't have to cut the produce up as much. The negative aspect is that if you're juicing leafy greens tend not to juice too well on the big feed chute juicers in most cases because they'll just get sucked through the juicer. But on the Power Grind, because it is a grinding centrifugal ejection juicer, it does do the leafy greens better than a centrifugal juicer, but in my opinion not as good as a slow RPM juicer. Alright, so these are the two pushers. Next we got the top. So the top on this guy just comes off, and then you can see this is the top here, and this is the grinding area. There's a grinding area on the blade and also here, and it's about a 1/4 of a millimeter, which is really small space between the grinding. So I'll explain how these work in a second. In addition, this machine has the top here, and the top on this is just nice and clear. And actually I prefer the clear tops. You can kind of see what's going on in there. And you can see the differences in the feed chute sizes. Next we have the blades. So on the Juiceman we're going to go ahead and pop the blade off. This whole thing rotates and you can get the blade off hopefully. And there's the blade, so it's a nice one-piece stainless steel blade, and then on the bottom it has some plastic. On the Power Grind, you can't just pull this off. You need a special tool, and in my opinion, this can be inconvenient, especially if you lose this tool, you're not going to be able to use your juicer because you can't get it apart. So this tool basically goes in to the blade assembly, and you turn it, and this tool does actually have a magnet on the back, so you can stick it to your refrigerator somewhere so you don't lose it, and then this piece spins off. So this is the blade on the Power Grind Pro, and if you notice the blades are fairly similar on both machines, but on the outside of this blade it has the grinding wheel that basically will grind up the produce after it's been shred to hopefully get further extraction. So that's the differences on that. And then this one has actually a plastic rimmed on the bottom and the top, and a stainless steel mesh screen. Now the mesh screen is very important. The size of the holes on the mesh determines how much pulp is going to be in your juice. So actually the mesh on the Juiceman 2 and other juicers look to be fairly small, almost like pinholes, and the size on the Power Grind Pro is a little bit larger. So what that's going to do is that's going to put a little bit more fiber in your juice. Next piece we have is the main juicing bowl, and these are both the juicing bowls on both machines. Are fairly similar, but they're both made out of 100% plastic, and they do have some passageways that can be harder to clean. I prefer juicing bowls that are made out of stainless steel. They're a lot easier to clean. So let's see, that's the whole juicer there. Oh, actually, you know what? We got the base too. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the motor base? So these are both motor bases. You know, they're fairly similar. The Power Grind Pro has a larger footprint than the Juiceman 2. Let's talk about the power. The power on the Power Grind Pro is 250 watts, and the power on the JuiceMan 2 is 690 watts. So the JuiceMan 2 actually has a more powerful motor contained within it, as do most other juicers. Now that being said, it's not necessarily the wattage of the motor, but how efficient the motor is, and I haven't done the efficiency testing on these machines. No matter what juicer you buy, as long as it's one of the juicers DiscountJuicers.com sells, all those motors are perfectly fit with the juicers to give you excellent results every single time. Now other machines at the department store, they could have a high wattage motor, but just because it's high wattage doesn't mean it's efficient, and it doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. So the other thing that I want to talk about is the RPMs, or revolutions per minute, and that's how fast the juicer spins. Now the Power Grind Pro spins at about 3,600 RPMs, and the original JuiceMan 2 spins at about 6,300 RPMs, so that's a little bit quicker. Now the RPMs relate to how loud the juicer is going to be, so if you want a quieter juicer, you want to get a juicer with lower RPMs. But the faster the RPMs are, that means in general, the faster you're going to be done juicing. So you can be in and out of the kitchen really quick. And the last part on both machines are the catch containers. So you can see here, these are both the catch containers. I do like the clear catch container on the Power Grind, but this is the catch container on the JuiceMan 2. And the JuiceMan 2 catch container is actually a lot larger. So I like juicers that have a large catch container because you're not going to have to empty them as much. So let's see, let's go ahead and put these guys down and put these machines back together. So on the Power Grind Pro, you're just going to take the main juicing bowl, set that down, then you take the juicing string that goes in there, then you take the blade assembly that goes in there, and once again you're going to spin that on, and we need our handy dandy tool, don't lose it, this costs you a chunk of change if you lose it, and tighten that up. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And then we're going to take the top simply goes on like that, and then you just rotate that back, locks into place, real simple, real easy. On the JuiceMan 2, we're going to put this on, spin it back into place, put the blade assembly that just locks down firmly into place, and then the top goes in, clicks into place, and then we got both our pushers. Now on the pushers, the pusher for the JuiceMan 2 goes straight down, and this one kind of goes at a little bit of an angle. So what we're going to be juicing today are 2 pineapples. Now you can juice the skin on the pineapples, and actually a lot of the nutrition is probably in the skin, but if you do buy conventional, which is not organic, they have been sprayed with fungicides. So you don't want to be juicing skins that contain fungicides, because when you juice skins with fungicides, guess what you're ingesting? You're ingesting fungicides, which may cause suicide. So nonetheless, in my opinion, we should not be consuming fungicide. So I've washed these already, and we're going to cut off all the skin. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a juice off with the JuiceMan 2 and the Power Grind Pro to find out which juicer will reign supreme in not only yield, but you'll also get to see how the machines work. So the next is a tip that an old wise man gave me, and actually his name was Jay Kordich. Now I want to once again thank Jay Kordich. He really got me started in juicing, which helped to save my life. And the tip he gave me is, don't just take your juicing basket and put it underneath your juicer, because then all the pulp is going to go in here and you got to clean it. So what he says is take a standard produce bag. So I have a standard produce bag here, and we're just going to line this collection bin with the produce bag. So when we're done juicing, we can just take this bag out, and it's going to be easily composted. If you don't have a produce bag, you just use a standard grocery shopping bag, which will essentially do the same thing, and put that into your collection bin. Line it in there and fold it over nice and easy. This is going to make cleanup much easier. Trust me, I've juiced, I don't know, thousands of produce items, and this has saved me a lot of time. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and move this guy over and move this guy over. And we're going to go ahead and prepare our pineapples to be juiced. Also, we're going to go ahead and plug in the JuiceMan 2 juicer. And to prepare the pineapples, all I simply like to do is, first I like to just twist off the top of the pineapple. We'll twist off the other top. Very simple, very easy. Now you can plant these. What you're going to do is you're going to cut off all this stuff that's wet. You're going to peel off these bottom leaves. You're going to let it dry for like 24 hours so that you don't get a rot, and then you're just going to plant this in some soil. You can only do that if these guys are fresh. These guys actually look old, so I'm not going to plant these. They're going to get composted. So the next step is, after I twist off the tops, then I simply take a sharp knife and I'll cut off the top of the pineapple. So I'm basically just removing the skin. I'll twist that around. I'll cut off the bottom. Then we'll do that with the other one. And now when you're picking a pineapple to juice, or actually just to eat, I would encourage you to pick the ripest one as possible. The ripest one is the one that has the most yellow in the skin, and it's firm. If it's going soft, or has brown spots, then it's going bad. These guys actually were at a reduced price, so these ones are probably a bit softer than I'd like to juice them. When you do pick produce for juicing, they should be nice, hard, and firm. If you have soft, mealy apples or soft produce, or limpy produce, it's not going to juice well. So get the hard and firm fresh produce. And I encourage each one of my viewers to grow a portion of your own food, including leafy greens and other crops in your front yard or backyard. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the pineapple that we have the top and the bottom cut off, and we're just going to go ahead now and we're going to trim off the skin on the sides. Now once again, if this was organic, I may choose to juice it. That is going to make your juice not quite as sweet. This is non-organic. So most of the pesticides are sprayed on the outside of the fruit. If they didn't spray this with a fungicide, it would probably rot out sooner rather than later. Alright, so you can see there I got pretty much all the skin shaved off. I'm going to move that to the side there. That's one pineapple. Next we're going to do the same thing with the other pineapple. It's very simple and very easy to prepare your produce for juicing. Most produce, including apples and stuff, as long as they're organic, you can juice the skins on. You can even juice watermelon skins and cantaloupe skins, honeydew skins. Basically, if you could eat it, you could juice it. Alright, so we're just about done cutting the skin off this other pineapple. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is, to the best of my ability, I'm going to try to cut each of these pineapples right in half. So now half of each of the pineapples, one half is going to go into the Power Grind Pro, and the other half is going to go into the Juiceman 2. So let's see, let's get our glasses lined up there. And on the Juiceman 2, we're going to have to make a few additional cuts because the feed chute is a little bit smaller. I think we will juice first in the Juiceman 2 machine. Alright, so there our produce is easily cut to get fed in the Juiceman, and we're going to turn the Juiceman on. Starts up, fairly quiet, nice and balanced. Put that in. Juicing up nice and easy. You can see instantly the juice is coming out. One piece at a time. Now you want to take your time when juicing. You don't want to shove it down too fast, but you don't want to go too slow either and be here all day. So we're just having a nice slow and moderate pace to feed all the pineapple pieces into the Juiceman 2 juicer. As you can see, this is just nice, easy, and simple. I think we're going to fill up our glass here of juice with the Juiceman 2 juicer. Man, it's going to be pretty close. I wonder if we're going to go over. Well, okay, that's all the pineapple, and we've pretty much filled up the glass in the Juiceman 2 juicer. We're going to go ahead and turn that off, and next we're going to start up the good old Power Grind Pro. So in the Power Grind Pro, we could actually cut a lot less. We just got to cut our pieces that were in half into quarters. So once we got that, we're going to go ahead and turn this guy on. And this one's actually a little bit more quiet than the Juiceman 2. That's because it runs at a lower RPM. So now that we have this on, we're just going to simply take our piece of pineapple and put it in. This one does take a little bit more pushing to push it into the machine. There's a little bit more resistance. The blades don't seem quite as sharp, maybe because this is also grinding it as it is also juicing. We're about a little bit over halfway full. That's the third piece, and this does take more pressure to push that in. Alright. The machine kind of slows down a little bit. We'll push that last piece in there. Alright, I think it was a little bit easy to juice in the original Juiceman 2. And that's all the pineapple that we got juiced in there. And we're going to go ahead and turn that one off. And check it out, we juiced about the same amount of pineapple in both machines, and let me go ahead and show you the trick here. The trick is, the first thing is you want to take the juicer and always tip it up because you're going to get some extra juice that was in the machine, so this doesn't drip on your counter, and you're going to get to drink that fresh juice. And next we're going to take the Power Grind and do the same thing. Tip this up and see if we get some more juice. We got a little bit more juice. And next what we're going to do is we're going to move these glasses over side by side and compare them. Now, I could definitely see that. I don't know if you guys could see that. But definitely the original Juice Man 2 made more juice than the all-new Power Grind Pro. So when I originally bought the Juice Man 2, it was definitely less than the all-new Power Grind Pro is selling today, but you know, keep in mind there is inflation. But when you pay less, you actually get more. So there may be other juicers on the market that will yield more juice than the Power Grind Pro. Now, once again, your results may vary. This is my results juicing pineapples. So, for example, if we juice leafy greens in the Juice Man 2 versus the Power Grind Pro, I'm confident that the Power Grind Pro, because it has the juicing and grinding technology, is going to yield more on the leafy greens. But in this situation, on the pineapple juice, it definitely yields less. Now, the Power Grind Pro will also allow you to make things like almond milks, which this machine will not. Once again, the best juicer for you is a juicer that's best going to meet your needs. There are many juicers on the market for your specific needs. The Power Grind Pro might be a good alternative, or a different centrifugal ejection style machine. Once again, the Juice Man 2 is no longer available, so for a machine just like this one, I would recommend the Liquip Mini Model 110.5. So be sure to check my other videos because there are many juicers on the market, and a juicer that's, you know, best for me might not meet your specific needs. So be sure to check my other videos where you can watch over 250 videos with me juicing in different juicers and different produce so that you can find the best juicer that's going to be right for you. So I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the all-new Power Grind Pro and how it yields in a real-world yield test. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.